Welcome back to Vibing Conversations. We are here to discuss a few more topics. So let's go because we have a lot to say. So the other day you sent me a video or a clip. There was a video which I went and researched on my own after you sent it to me. Then another image of which looked like a woman breastfeeding a child, but
it's a transgendered person.
So you had a few opinion and I had a few opinion. So here we go.
So the first video I made, for those who, you don't even have, we're not going to specifically talk about one person, but it's something that I know that happens in the lesbian community. And it was a news article, people saying it was fake, about Young M.A. It's a rapper, she's a lesbian rapper, or mainstream. She was stopped by the police where they thought she had a gun on her, but it was actually a strap-on dildo she was wearing. And so I saw it on someone's page and I shared it on mine, and I'm like, why would you even walk around with that? And people, there were different opinions, and like someone said to me, oh, that's their identity, and some people said, oh, they don't have a problem with that and all stuff. There's feminine and aggressive women, chiming in on it. But I still stand by what to each his own, But hey, this is our platform. It's our opinion. You can chime in down below. But I have a problem with it. And I can say it because I'm a lesbian woman. I fall in the aggressive spectrum. And I just think that wearing a strap-on dildo, how the hell is that identity? Because my thing is, when you take it off, your identity is gone. So I don't understand that, how it's your identity. When you shower, you take it off. I don't think you shower with the dildo on. You have to wash, because it's not your penis. So you have to wash your vagina, so you have to take it off. So your identity does not leave you. This is logical to me.
Yes or no?
Go ahead.
First of all, I think we need to think about, and I mentioned this before, and we'll touch on it later on again, but just bring it up now. The freedom one have in this country. So in this country, we can dress what we want to dress like, look how we want to look, carry ourselves whatever way. If you want to wear a dildo on your forehead, you can. You're going to get attention. And again, that's the other thing. Think about those who do it for attention, those who do it for identity reason, those who do it to go to the club to stimulate a woman as they rub up on the woman dancing.
Okay.
And then those who do it sexually.
I'm trying to think about all of that.
But people do.
But my thing is, again, I'm not a cop or something, but a cop's not gonna say, oh, she have that on because she gonna stimulate a woman. Oh, then no one has time to think of it.
Okay. And I get that.
No,
but again,
that shouldn't have to be a rational. It should be. I have to do.
And I can touch on that also, where the cop shouldn't have to guess what you're strapped with. But you got to think about also how we dress as a community or as a society of people that think that hip hop is swagger or pants sagging. I've seen videos of police officer pulling over a black guy and he's now searching the dude from the back. When he go to the front, which is a part of their routine, is to check the front as he pat you down. He checked the front, and when he checked the front, he grabbed that which he thought was a gun.
Okay.
He asked the dude, what's this? The dude says, yo, that's my dick. Now, his pants was so low that the bottom of, or the top of the waist is his dick, the waistline of the pants.
Okay.
Of course, if a cop is now searching and following protocol, checking for a weapon, he's gonna go above where the waistline is. Because, again, we need to fucking pull up our pants.
Okay.
With her, as a young woman who is hip hop, She dressed the same way. Saggy pants, showing her ass. And by the way, that's the other problem. If you are female and you're wearing saggy pants, straight men are going to look at you, even though you look like a guy, they're going to know it's a girl. And because of your bulging in your back, they're going to have thoughts or fantasy about it just the same.
Okay.
The problem is, if you don't want to be labeled or to be judged based on your appearance, then change your appearance. But the freedom we have to dress however we want in this country allows us to be, you're overboard with the shit.
But see, but you're talking about clothing. This isn't clothing. It's not clothing.
It's a part of an identity for them. Most women dress, and I will talk about this off camera before. 25, 30 years ago, this wasn't the norm for a woman to dress. Your identity is that I like to dress comfortably. Some folks might say that's the excuse.
I don't see my clothes as identity. It's clothes.
But Sam, okay, would you get up tomorrow and for the rest of the month wear skirts to work, wear dress to work?
That's not my style. I don't like that.
But the
thing is, I could. But I'm not comfortable with it because it's too much to think about. See, I think.
Why then? Why is it then too much to think about?
Because I have to worry about how I sit. I have to worry about. I don't have time for that. I don't want more pantyhose. I gotta put it. I don't have. That's not my style.
Okay.
I've done it. Could I do it? Would I be bad? I'd be bad. But it's not my. It's not my style.
The same multiple reasons you have for dressing the way you dress, they are coming up with the same excuses or reasons why they wear a strap on.
That don't make no.
Or strap their breast down.
No. Why? How you can't compare putting on a strap to wearing jeans? No.
Yeah, I can.
How?
Because if you
it's not clothing.
If you think about it, and we think about this.
Okay, before you even go.
If you see a black man walking down the street in a skirt.
I think honestly, there's some men that wear the hell out of a skirt, and I think it's sexy as ever. What? I don't have a problem. Because I don't have a problem if you look busted in it, but there's some men that put on a skirt and honey, I'm like, yes. And you don't have to be gay. It's clothing. It's clothing. They used to wear back in it. It's clothing.
I'm not from what the place called Scotland.
No,
it's not my culture. It's not my heritage.
Your ancestors used to wear them shits, them flat. No side. But the thing is, because of what society has changed the mind that you're not supposed to. No, it used to be. If the Bible didn't come into play, a lot of shit you'd be wearing a skirt today, guaranteed. But the Bible's brought a lot of shit and changed a lot of how people think.
You mentioned yes. African attire.
You go out in Africa now, you see men. It ain't seen as you gay. They're most of the most manliest men leading tribes and stuff. What's the problem?
But the thing is this though. Even though men who grew up in that culture of Africa, seeing the way that they dress with whatever they attire themselves with. It wasn't labeled or it wasn't tagged to their sexual identity.
But why should clothing be attached to your sexual identity?
Because that's how we use, or that's part of what we use to identify who we are when we think about it.
But the same thing.
Is it possible for a straight man to wear lipstick and say, well, I just like my lip moist?
Why isn't it possible? But because of what society's placing in mind, that's gay, you're going to think he's gay. Why isn't it possible?
Because, number one, it's not the norm. Number two, there is several different things or reasons why, or different products you can use to moisten your lips.
But what if he likes the red lipstick?
Then he'll be judged just as much as back in the days when you were dealing with your identity coming out, being comfortable.
I wasn't dealing with no identity.
Coming out with yourself.
I'm a woman. I know who I am. I'm a woman. I'm a woman. I just don't like dresses.
You didn't come out in the sense of I'm a woman. I know what I like. In the sense of attire, you had ideas of sexually what you were attracted to, and then what you're now comfortable wearing.
I have a gradual process. I went through a gradual
But that's what I'm
process.
saying.
I started cutting my head.
There were that process. You didn't boom and you reach here.
No.
Because
but
your
I'm saying
your background
my
being
clothing
Jamaican
has nothing to do with my
but
identity.
It did.
No, it's me. What Samantha likes.
No, because think about it.
No.
Think about it. As little girls who growing up, the same rapper, she was saying that as a little girl growing up, she was never comfortable in female attire.
Okay.
Why wasn't she comfortable?
Because she hung out with the boys. She felt more boyish, if you want to call it that.
So her identity is that
but she's
I am not that which I'm wearing.
But she's not a boy. She felt boyish, but she's not a boy. It's two different things.
Feeling that you're boyish.
I think I have
a part of what boyish is a dick, which they don't have, so they will use a dildo.
No.
Yeah.
No, you can't speak you can't speak from a woman's point of view. You can't speak from a lesbian. You can't do it. You can have your opinion, but you can't.
Yeah, but it's my opinion.
And I respect.
And the medical field over a period of time has accumulated while interviewing people and question their idea. And this is where the medical field is now so big with different names of people back in the days would be considered gay or straight or bisexual or lesbian. Now there's multiple things that is now titled because somebody doesn't want to be affiliated with just being called gay.
Okay.
If two men is together, normally back in the days it's called gay. Today it's I'm top, I'm bottom, you're verse.
Gay. That's just going into subcategory. They still gay.
In the subcategory,
because if you ask,
what is the big deal? Who needs to know if you're bottom or not unless somebody fucking with you?
But brings me back to my main point. Wearing a strap on, I don't see it as identity. That's what you're using in the bedroom. You don't. What do you mean no?
It's an identity for her that when she reaches down and feels something, it's something that stimulates her thought process.
Remember, you're gay.
No, it's something that stimulates her thought process and also stroke her ego of what she think and perceive herself to be.
Maybe I'm too old for this shit because I'm sorry. I'm too old for that shit. Because, it must be. I agree this is a totally new generation because my whole thing is this.
But they go to freedom. Because we have freedom in this generation, I can come out at 9 and go, Mom, I'm a lesbian just because I saw something on TV or, I'm curious about it. There's a difference back in the days when you were curious and you had an attraction. Yeah, religion did play a role in what you fight yourself with inside not to be attracted to.
But bring it to now, if that's no longer an issue. So then I should be like, oh, gay, gung ho. No, my thing is,
it's still an issue because the process you went through to come where you are now, a young lady, 15 or younger, is now still coming to the idea of, I like women. In her mind, okay, I'm attracted to women. Are we having conversation with each other to say, how do you feel in liking this woman? What makes you attracted to this woman? And then being able to articulate why I feel how I feel when I look at this person.
Okay.
Most of us can't articulate what we feel other than I'm attracted to her. She looks sexy. If you ask that chick who, by the way, is more aggressive than you are in that sense, and she pushed the border of almost being manly. So she wanted to play sports as a young girl.
It goes back.
And again, parents would say, okay, give her the freedom to be a child, to take off the skirt and put on the pants and play with the boys. Back before this generation and before my generation and your generation, if a child who were born with some identity issue, in the sense of when the doctors pull them out of the mother, they call them hermaphrodites.
Yeah.
If it was a choice they had to make, eeny, meeny, miny, moe, one of them is going to be all right. Boop. And then create from that an identity for that child. Still today, there's people in their 60s who were part of that generation and who got snipped, tucked, and everything else, and still come up with the idea of I'm in the wrong body.
Okay, but that's not the issue all around. That's not the.
That was the norm. The norm now is I can choose to sample orange juice if I want, and I can choose to sample water. And if I choose to pour water in the orange juice, it's my business.
Oh, okay.
So the freedom she has to wear that comes along with the idea of we give them, or we fight for the right to be who we are and behave how we want to behave. Because we have the right in this country.
Okay.
If you go to another country, they would have killed her long time ago. They would have killed me long time ago. But because we have the freedom to do the foolishness, as you would, or the fuckery, as you would say, if we want freedom and we want the right to be who we want to be, then we have to be that way with everyone. But we can still challenge and question why you do what you do, which is what you're doing.
Right. Now, going back to why I have a problem with it,
Why?
is because she and I fall in the same spectrum. I accept being a woman. For her, it may not. She's not denying. She's not. Let me finish what I'm saying. She's not denying being a woman, because I've watched a lot of her. She's not denying being a woman. She, so far from what I've watched, I don't know her personally, but for the things that I've watched, she's not saying I'm transitioning. She's just an aggressive lesbian. That's it. She has depicted on many different interviews that she is more manly, dude,
in her behavior.
Listen to what I'm saying.
And her choices than you do.
Listen. You can't. I'm in this. Listen what I'm saying. You can. I'm in this, so I know what I. She is not saying she. Yes, there's women they're more aggressive than me, and it's because they deny a lot of that feminine. The woman, I don't do that. Now, her denying that is not saying she's transitioning to be a man. She's just a really aggressive woman. So my problem with the whole thing with the strap-on is that there's now that thin line between being who you are, accepting who you are, and then, oh my God, I'm born in the wrong body. That's the problem that I have. That's where I'm coming from. It's great who she want to be, fine. But then it becomes a problem for women that look like.
Let me
finish it. For women that look like me, because they will assume I'm the same like her. That's my problem.
But that's based on ignorance. So put everybody in the same bucket.
But that's my whole problem. And this is what I'm saying. A cop ain't gonna stop to put us side by side. They're gonna think we the same thing. You understand? That's my problem. And that's the problem. And then people outside this community don't have the time to sit and want to figure this out. Let alone within our community, it's an issue. So imagine someone outside. It's fuckery. It's like, what the hell is wrong with these people? Be honest.
But it's not just blacks or Hispanics.
No, I'm not saying black. I'm just saying
it's people on a whole in America that can choose to do what the hell they want to do.
Then you have the next video I send you. The woman is Jesus. Look, this is just look. And you can say I'm in this community, but look.
The same measurement, and I said this to you before, the same measurement of judgment you want the freedom to be able to express yourself is the same we can or should allow others.
You can have all the freedom you want,
but also in our freedom to be gay and be lesbian and be whatever spectrum, on the spectrum measurement.
I think with that freedom there's responsibility. You understand? I think there's a responsibility.
I question the idea of this because when we talked about it before, I went to work and I stopped by and I was questioning Positive Health Department. What's the statistics on aggressive women who are lesbians who have the identity issue of I'm a man born in a chick's body?
But they don't call themselves aggressive lesbians. They don't call themselves AGs.
Okay, so in my investigation, there is those individuals who say, well, I'm born in the wrong body and want to transition. Whether they can transition because they have the money or not, they start to dress, tie down the breasts, become more masculine in this sense of their attire, and they're over this spectrum. Then there are the AGs who want to play the man role without the dick. And at times, the dildo plays a role in their sexual pleasuring of the woman that they're with in the bedroom. Now, Then there is the next set who might be aggressive enough, but they don't need a dildo to be with a woman.
High five somebody. Praise him. Okay, go on. Sorry.
But that's what I'm saying. In you searching for self and what pleases you and what you're comfortable with, that is the freedom of choice we have.
Right.
But the ones who are, and I still think that there are people who are living gay and bisexual and straight and whatever spectrum of identity you are, that there's still people that are confused.
So that brings me into the next thing that I shared with you. How you feel about what I sent you.
Well, I don't think it's confusion. I think that sometimes people do shit to get attention. So there's a difference between I'm confused and I lost, I don't know where to go. And there's the difference of I just love the attention I'm getting, and guess what? I'm gonna walk tomorrow with a dildo on my forehead.
But then with that attention, you're causing problems for the rest of us. That's my, you understand?
Because society on the whole never says, okay, this is the boundary. No more fuckery. You're not gonna say that you are a man taking a hormone, you're a woman transitioning into a man taking hormones, and you still have breasts. But this is what I go back to say to you. In other cultures,
they would have killed
if two men are caught having sex, depending on what level of intimacy you're doing, if someone getting penetrated, technically they in that culture decided that you are now a bitch, you're a female. So if you want to be a female, we're gonna have, after they arrest your ass and bring it to the precinct, they want to know, did you get forced into this? If you didn't get forced into it and you choose to get fucked, then guess what? You don't need a dick between your legs then. You need, for us as a community, to identify with what you are having in private. So guess what? You're now going to become a woman, and we're going to get that snipped, we're going to get you breasts, and you're going to dress from this moment on to be a woman. Now, is that right for society to dictate that? No. But here it comes in their mind and their choices. For the sake of the fuckery and the confusion, we're just going to label you man, woman, and that's it. If you get caught doing any other things other than the norm, we're going to torture you. We're going to kill you because we don't want this in our society. If we were living in Jamaica, there are certain things that might be accepted, you looking like this and walking the street, other than my husband who dressed like a dude with a suit and tie, but because he has some feminine qualities, or because I have some tendency to talk with my hand, or whatever the case is, you can be outed out, dragged into the streets, and get busted. Now, the freedom we have in this country, we have a right to be who we want and to live how we want and to choose to do all of that. But again, as you said, that comes with responsibility. But who hold people according to that?
That should be an individual, but I think as a community, we're not together, so that support is not there, and that education is not there to have that accountability for some freaking some sense. Because something, honestly, is like, what the hell are you doing?
So
what the hell are you doing?
Let me just play bitch advocate. So what about the men who they got a good size, but they play tuck and hide? Because visually, when they look in the mirror,
they feel like they're a woman, you're saying?
They tuck it and they feel and they behave.
What question? Yeah, what's the question?
What's the difference? He has the flesh, but he doesn't want it popping out, so he tuck it under, and he's now visioning himself to be a woman.
I'm not giving a difference. It's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same way I feel.
So whatever is stimulating their thought for them to wear the dildo or for them to talk, you're saying you need to figure out who you are?
Figure it out. But then there are people who, will say that, okay, sexuality,
it's fluid.
But you have sex, it's sexual, it's not sexual identity and what is it? Sexual identity and I forgot what other, it's not the same thing. Sexual identity,
orientation.
It's two different things. It's two different things.
But for some people it's not. It's one of the same.
No, it's two different things. More traditional scientific approaches to studying sexual orientation relied on sexual behavior and attraction to classify people. So that would be like someone's homosexual or they heterosexual. Homosexual is gathering gay and lesbian under the same umbrella. That's what it is. That was orientation. And then it says, is sexual identity the same thing? In general, most people adopt a sexual identity that matches their sexual orientation. Most heterosexually oriented people identify as heterosexual or straight. Most homosexually oriented people identify as lesbian or gay. However, there's a sizable number of people for whom sexual orientation does not coincide with their sexual identity. They're different.
They are the ones, for instance, one of the question I ask, for a man who is married to a woman and gets a high from the wife being the aggressive one, putting on a strap on and penetrating him.
Okay.
The norm in the world would be that dude is gay and he's not out yet, or he's not comfortable with himself.
It's the norm that has been created. Mm-hmm. But everyone is not telling what's going on in their bedroom. And I believe what happens in your bedroom is your business. If you are a masculine man and you like your feminine woman to strap you up, that is your business. It doesn't change you from being a masculine man. That's if after that happened and you feel like a bitch, that's on you. That's on you. That's on you. Whatever happens in your bedroom, happens in your bedroom. And this is why I go back to the strap-on thing. I believe that's what happened in your bedroom. I've used it. It don't make me. I ain't walking around.
Girl.
Shut the hell up, Carlos. I don't walk around. Where the hell I'm walking around? It's not attached to me. I wasn't born with it.
But
no.
It might not be that for the person who thinks that when I hold it and I talk to my dudes in the hip hop world.
So then, if all the strap-on factories close down, no more dicks can be made.
They'll put a
What's
stick.
gonna happen?
They'll put a stick. Brush off a branch and put a stick there.
Look, it's fuckery. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah.
The women who feel that they can straddle that fence of, yeah, I'm aggressive. Some days I feel like putting on a strap on because I'm going to the club to grind on some chicks. But do you recognize that stimulates that person mentally? Why they do it?
I don't know. I'm a lesbian, and I'm saying the first thing I don't go for is a dick. I'm sorry. That's like surprise, happy birthday, Merry Christmas. That ain't you. That's just my opinion. Like I said, maybe I'm too old for this shit. But anyway, yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Well, we will. This is one of the first where we're not agreeing on everything.
It's not about agreeing.
But it's okay,
yeah.
Because again, I do believe that the freedom we have. There are women who, again, walk around and they have their low haircut, they have that aggression, and in the bedroom, they're the dominant one with the woman that they're with. But, again, there are those who, like in the hip-hop world, that, your lyrics are talking about, you have a dildo and you make her go down on it and give you head. Now, my question as a man, or as a straight man would ask the question, what the fuck are you feeling?
I can say it's a stimulus.
But it's a mental stimulation for her.
But that's what's going on in the bedroom. But what the hell are walking around?
It's the same thing if she walking down the street and grab her crotch in the front.
It's
the same thing.
What's the same thing?
Just like the little feminine boys who go, they don't have no tits to begin with, but they go, ooh yeah, kiss my tit. It's a mental.
They're walking on the street doing that?
There's some people. Look at some of the videos of the so-called straight men, young men who are playing games with each other, walking out of the bathroom.
But you just said sometimes it's attention.
Attention, yes, but a part of that attention is the truth. It's just like saying in every joke, which is what they've said, in every joke there's some truth to it. So in that young man walking around, testing the boundaries of what he's comfortable with within himself, he would play with his friends that he have over from school, and he run out to the bathroom with his towel on, and they go, boy, go put some clothes on, or boy, that ass look fat. You just don't say shit like that, and it doesn't mean something. So it's the same thing where you just don't put on a dildo just to put on a dildo or a strap on. It's something that stimulates you mentally, psychologically, and even physically.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I guess I'll put it. There's a time and place for everything. That's how
That is the most important one then.
But that's what I've been saying. There's a time and place for everything.
But that is your decision for you.
But see,
for her, I want to walk up in the studio with this shit on, that when I go up in the studio and I see the chick that I want to fuck with, I can say to her, give me your hand, grab that. And it's a stimulation for her.
I'm too old for this shit.